Everybody loves this celebratory event. Look at the joy in the faces of these children. They're so quick to show emotion. At your workplace, we decided to bring back the celebration of self with a new policy about a special benefit. It's a very special policy, actually. Let me tell you, every employee at your workplace receives his or her birthday as a paid day off. Imagine that, having your birthday as a paid day off. We knew, though, that this might be tough for some people because, we have become adults after all. So we decided to conduct a bit of a survey with our staff. Over the last 7 years, we've had this policy. And we have learned a few things. We learned that when we asked the question, do others make plans to celebrate your birthday with you? We learned that 100% of our staff said yes, others make the plan. The second question that we asked is, do you make your own plans? The answer to that is 50% said yes. It was the next question that caused our aha moment. We learned that in terms of people taking their birthday as a paid day off, resoundingly, 90% said they did not. Our new benefit, we thought, would change this by giving people that day off. At this point, we're thinking that's a good idea for our staff to celebrate their birthday. One thing we didn't want to do, though, is give our team time to run errands, time to go to the doctor and do appointments, time to take others to the doctor. So we decided that we needed to look at things a little bit differently. Remember the slide that we had before about birthdays? The feeling that you see, the joy that you feel when you see children at a birthday celebration. We decided to ask a few more questions. Of the two scenarios I showed you before, we asked the question, how many hours of joy do you experience on your birthday? In the first scenario, where others made the plans, we learned that they received 3.9 hours of joy on average. Now, the next question, of course, we made the assumption that we knew the answer to the next one, which is 2.1 hours of joy. We assumed that people would be happier if they made their own plans. Have we lost sight of making ourselves happy? Has life gotten so busy that we spend more time giving to others, fulfilling our commitments at work, taking care of our family, than giving consideration to our own happiness? So the whole notion of taking responsibility for bringing yourself joy, we learned that 64% of people said no. They've lost sight of that. So we changed the policy, and now it reads, if every employee is entitled to the benefit of having his or her day as a paid day off, provided that the same number of hours you normally work are spent bringing yourself joy. This may sound exciting. Not only is your birthday a paid day off, but you're guaranteed happiness. But take a moment and think about it. Do you know what brings you joy? It's a big question that many people had a difficult time with. What brings you joy? At your workplace, we went from the scenario where 50% said they were making their own plans and only got 2.1 hours of joy in the day to the new scenario. With their birthday benefit they received, 100% said they make their own plans and they get more than 8 hours of joy in the day. What's interesting is some of our workers are 6 hours a day, and they're still reporting that they have joy of greater than 8 hours in the day. We only measured up to 8, to be honest with you, because that's the most that anybody in the office works. So we never thought of asking whether there's more joy than that. But that's the result that we got. But it wasn't easy. People had to learn how to bring themselves joy. I'd like to read a few things that were reported to us in the survey. One of our staff said, "I never knew how much time I spent looking after others. My husband, daughters, mother. I had no idea what to do to bring myself joy. I really wanted the day off paid. But I spent weeks before my birthday trying to figure this out. It was really hard. Now I know, and I'll always be grateful for the experience." Here's another one. "Every year that my birthday comes around, I know that I have to bring myself joy, which means I have to figure out what makes me happy. Through that process, I'm being happy. I never expected that outcome." Having to think about what would make me happy is what I enjoyed the most about having my birthday off. It's not easy. Somehow, I learned to take care of others before me, to make them feel important. Now that I have to do it for myself, I find it's difficult. It's like I'm just meeting myself for the first time. I have to get to know who I am. And last, I know that if I'm feeling pissed off, it's really hard to think thoughts of joy. It's like visiting a foreign country and not knowing the language. I have to make myself feel better first, closer to joy, before I can be happy. Back in 2009, this small benefit started out as a thoughtful, kind gesture to our staff. However, we've learned it had sufficient weight to change behavior. In the end, when employees were asked to value, 84% said bringing myself joy was the number one reason, what they valued the most. This is about giving people the right to be happy. It's about nudging them towards taking ownership for the outcome of their life. If it is joy that we seek, and isn't that what we all want out of our life, which includes work? If it's joy that you seek, then create your own agenda instead of being part of the goal of others.